The Green Lantern ring is stated as one of the most powerful weapons in the DC universe. Linked to the wielder's willpower, the ring can create any construct the user imagines. Created by the Guardians, the ring was given to individuals showcasing immense willpower and resilience toward fear. Together, the wielders formed the Green Lantern Corps and protected different sectors of the universe. With all that explanation, the question arises about what will happen if evil and malevolent beings slide one such ring onto their fingers. Today we'll be exploring all the villainous characters who wore the Green Lantern ring. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Number 1. Dawnbreaker. The origin of Dawnbreaker is from Earth-32, one of the dark multiverse realities, and the character is none other than Bruce Wayne from the mentioned reality. The event of Bruce Wayne wielding a Green Lantern ring occurred on the night his parents were killed. When the unknown gunman killed Thomas and Martha Wayne, Bruce felt his significant loss, but was unafraid. He chose to chase after the gunman, and that was when a Green Lantern ring flew up to him. Young Bruce had shown the capability of showcasing his great willpower to overcome fear, for which the ring chose him to become a Green Lantern. Locating the gunman, Bruce decided to eliminate him from the world, but the ring protested against his action. However, Bruce was filled with anguish and a tremendous amount of willpower, making him carry out the task of killing the gunman. Dawnbreaker was created by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo, and it portrayed a version of Bruce Wayne giving in to absolute power and rage. After murdering the gunman, the first thing that Dawnbreaker tried was to resurrect Thomas and Martha, but it only ended up turning them into zombies. Frustrated, Dawnbreaker gave up hope of reviving them and began fighting crime with lethal force. When Commissioner Jim Gordon questioned him for his ways, he did not hesitate to kill Jim. Finally, the Green Lantern Corps arrived to stop him, but it was Bruce Wayne, a man whose willpower can surpass any living entity. Using the ring's power, he created nightmarish constructs, which were a reflection of the void inside him, and decimated the entire Green Lantern Corps. One of the Guardians reached up to him and warned him by stating that the darkness inside him was going to end everything, but Dawnbreaker responded by decapitating the Guardian ruthlessly. Being vulnerable, helpless, and alone, Bruce realized that he never wanted to be Green Lantern or Bruce Wayne. He wanted to be the epitome of darkness, and so he named himself Dawnbreaker. Similar to the Green Lanterns, he had his own oath words, which went like this: "With darkness black, I choke the light. No brightest day escapes my sight. I turn the dawn into midnight. Beware my power, Dawnbreaker's might." Eventually, Earth-32 began crumbling because of his ring, and then appeared the Batman Who Laughs. He asked Dawnbreaker to join his team amongst other villainous Dark Knights. He also stated that Barbados could give him his parents. Since then, Dawnbreaker joined Batman Who Laughs and helped him in tormenting other realities. Dawnbreaker's powers were primarily like that of Green Lanterns, except for the fact that the bearer of the ring was a man with unmatched willpower and darkness. The dark void in his mind, along with his willpower, malfunctioned the programming of the ring, helped him create dark evil constructs that could choke light completely. Number 2. Sinestro. When it comes to Green Lanterns going rogue, Sinestro is one character that comes to everyone's mind. If 2011's Green Lantern live-action movie had a sequel, we would have witnessed Sinestro switching sides. In the DC universe, Thal Sinestro was an archaeologist born in the distant world of Korugar. One day, while working at an excavation site, a mysterious spacecraft crash-landed near his digging location, from which a mortally wounded alien wearing a Green Lantern appeared. The alien was a Green Lantern, and was currently being chased by the weaponer of Quord. The alien offered his ring to Sinestro, transforming the latter into a Green Lantern. Sinestro learned how to make constructs using his willpower, and managed to destroy the weaponer after a brief fight. However, when the alien wanted it back to recover himself, Sinestro denied it. He kept the ring, and left the alien to die. Sinestro was soon contacted by another Green Lantern, Abin Sur, who introduced him to the Green Lantern Corps and made him understand the true purpose of the Intergalactic Police Force, which was to protect the universe from evil forces. At Oa, Sinestro was made to swear the Green Lantern Oath and recruited into the Green Lantern Corps. He became an official Green Lantern and was tasked to protect Sector 1417 from threats. Sinestro proved to be one of the greatest Green Lanterns and fought numerous battles alongside Abin Sur. Both of them became good friends, and when Abin took him to his homeworld Ungara, Sinestro met his sister Arin and fell in love with her. The two eventually married and came back to Korugar. Sinestro fancied making his home planet a paradise, but his ways eventually made him a fascist. He began monitoring his people's communications, populations, and heartbeats, and he was later named the Dictator for life. The people of Korugar began protesting against his ways of ruling them, and even Arin showed her distaste for his methods. Meanwhile, Abin Sur died, and his Green Lantern ring was passed on to Hal Jordan, who became Sinestro's new partner. The two developed a bond of friendship, and Sinestro brought him into his planet. The inhabitants saw another Green Lantern on their planet, and believed Hal to be another dictator like Sinestro. The inhabitants began growing restless, and Hal was horrified to see Sinestro's ways toward his people. He returned to Oa and reported the Guardians about Sinestro's actions. In response to the misconduct, the Guardians removed the ring from Sinestro and banished him into the antimatter universe. During Sinestro's days as a Green Lantern, he had acquired several fans and followers amongst the Corps, who also followed him to the antimatter universe. In the antimatter universe, Sinestro met the Weaponers of Quord, who supplied him with a yellow ring, thereby making him the first Yellow Lantern. Driven by the emotion of fear, the ring supplied Sinestro with immense power, using which he has often been a powerful and lethal force opposing the Green Lantern Corps, and Hal Jordan specifically. Number 3. Lobo. Known for his raw speeches and peculiar regenerations, Lobo was an intergalactic bounty hunter who never missed his mark. Already being a fan favorite, when Lobo wore the Green Lantern ring, fans went crazy. This happened during the events of the Injustice 2 story arc. Many popular heroes died in the comic series, and there were vacant places for the new ones. The Green Lantern had suffered a massive blow in the series. Hal Jordan's betrayal, the cataclysmic fight against the combined forces of Superman's regime, and the Yellow Lantern Corps created much damage to the Green Lantern Corps. Hal was no more a Green Lantern, and Sinestro was held captive at Oa. Sinestro's daughter, Soranik, had joined the Green Lantern Corps. Taking advantage of the situation, the Red Lanterns attacked the Green Lantern Corps. Their newest recruit, Starro, had used his spores to mind control several Green Lantern members and the Guardian Sade. With Sade and the Green Lanterns, the Red Lantern Corps decimated the other Green Lanterns fighting for Oa. Their numbers were falling rapidly, and with no other option, they had to let Hal and Sinestro wield their Green Lantern rings. While trying to take down the Red Lantern Corps leader, Atrocitus, his legs carried away on his bike. Following this, he was taken to Oa, where he regenerated his body. Realizing the need for Green Lanterns, Salak gave Lobo a Green Lantern ring. Surrounding him with a green aura, the ring declared Lobo as a Green Lantern, but Lobo interrupted, stating the ring to celebrate less and grant him the requisite power. Soon, Lobo challenged Atrocitus by kicking Dexstar into deep space. Fueled by rage, Atrocitus attacked Lobo, but the latter used his willpower to create a giant male genital to deliver a powerful blow to him. The rest of the Green Lanterns were awed while some tried holding back their laughs. Later, when Hal Jordan took leadership and planned organized attacks on the Red Lanterns and the mind-possessed Green Lanterns, Lobo complied. Lobo is a powerful character in the DC universe. On some occasions, he had portrayed superhuman strength equivalent to Superman. He cannot die and possesses inexhaustible stamina. Although there was only a brief moment of action while wielding a Green Lantern ring, Lobo could be an exciting character to wear the ring and use its full potential. One must not forget Lobo's willpower is immense. No matter the odds, he is known for always completing his task of assassinating or capturing his targets. Number 4. Power Ring, the Crime Syndicate. Power Ring was an evil Green Lantern counterpart from Earth 3. In this universe, the superheroes we know of from Earth are villains. Like the Justice League, they had the Crime Syndicate, composed of supervillains. Power Ring was an organization member who had almost completely controlled the planet. Created by Gardner Fox and Mike Sekowsky, the story of Power Ring traces back to the man who was fanatic about mystical powers. While searching for it, the man met a mad Buddhist monk named Volthum, who gave him a mystical lamp and a ring of unlimited power. Wearing the ring, he became Power Ring, and possessed mystical power similar to that of a Green Lantern that we are familiar with. The ring gave him powers of flight, the creation of energy constructs, and the ability to project energy blasts. Using these powers, Power Ring began his criminal exploits. Later, he formed the crime syndicate along with 4 other superpowered evil beings in his reality. They were Ultraman, Owlman, Superwoman, and Johnny Quick. After conquering the entire world, they were bored of their everlasting powers and challenged their counterpart groups from other realities. They challenged the combined forces of the Earth 1 Justice League of America and Earth 2 Justice Society of America and lost to them, following which the Power Ring was imprisoned between dimensions. Power Ring was later freed accidentally by Captain Comet and the Secret Society of Supervillains when they were passing through dimensions. Being defeated by Captain Comet, they were again in prison, but not for long. When Per-Degaton and the Ultra-Human Knight and his new time-traveling band of the Secret Society came to Earth 3, Power Ring and the rest managed to escape. During the Crisis on Infinite Earths, when the Anti-Monitor attacked Earth 3 with the antimatter wave, the crime syndicate teamed up with Lex Luthor Sr. to stop the destructive force. Following this battle, Power Ring, along with every living entity on Earth, were erased from history except for Superman of Earth 2 and Alexander Luthor Jr. Number 5. Mongol II. Created by Peter Tomasi and Scott Eaton, Mongol II was the son of Mongol, who first appeared in Showcase 95 Issue 8, published in September 1995. He grew up watching digital renderings of his father's battles with Superman and tried copying his father's deeds. At some point during his adulthood, he was tasked to assist and train Superman for battle against the Imperiex. He seemed to have died in the battle, but later during the Infinite Crisis, he was shown fighting Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman on Watchtower and later on Earth against Hal Jordan and Green Arrow. Mongol wielding a lantern ring happened during the aftermath of the Sinestro Corps War, as showcased in 2008's Green Lantern Corps issue 19, after managing to take a Yellow Lantern ring by killing a Sinestro Corps member. Soon after wearing the Yellow Lantern ring, Mongol II tracked down the other members and confronted them. He gave them a choice of either choosing to serve him or giving up their rings. The news of the incident reached the Green Lantern Corps, and they made their way to stop Mongol. Meanwhile, Mongol II, in his segregation process, obtained 5 more Yellow Lantern rings. After a fight against the Green Lanterns, Mongol was taken down by the fly-like lantern Bzd, who flew through his eyes. Although it was shown if Mongol wore any Green Lantern during the battle, in a promotional image for the 2009 comic book event Faces of Evil, Mongol was shown to be wearing yellow, green, and red lantern rings. Number 6. Cyborg Superman. Created by Dan Jurgens, Cyborg Superman was one of the 4 alternates of Superman who appeared after the death of Superman. He was a human named Hank Henshaw, a part of the LexCorp space shuttle Excalibur, along with his wife Terry. After his confrontation with Superman, he was imprisoned by him in the Fortress of Solitude. Although Superman had kept him in a comatose state, Cyborg Superman's mind eventually managed to take control of the Kryptonian technology from within, and then used it to gain control over the Green Lantern's central power battery that was placed on Oa. Soon, the Green Lanterns had their rings malfunctioning, and the members of the Corps began fighting against each other. Cyborg Superman acted as a virus, and since he had infected the central power battery, every time someone charged their rings, he managed to infect it and control the wielders. He then managed to obtain the powerful Phantom Ring, which could gain him access to the entire emotional spectrum. Cyborg Superman managed to control all the Green Lanterns, and the ones who resisted. He asked the rings to disobey the wielders. However, only Hal Jordan was left to be controlled, who could fuel his ring with his very own willpower, and did not require the central power battery. Cyborg Superman later attained his physical form in the Green Lantern Volume 4, Issue 11, published in June 2006. Hal, after noticing Tomar II, the Green Lantern of Sector 2813, was delighted as the Green Lantern was one of those Hal had killed while possessed by the Parallax entity. Along with Guy Gardner, he followed Tomar II's flight path and arrived on Biot, the homeworld of the Manhunters. They tried sneaking in, but the Manhunters noticed them and attacked. While fighting the horde of Manhunters, the Green Lanterns noticed that the robots were upgraded and contained green power batteries within them. When they found the rest of the Green Lanterns who were previously killed by Hal, but before they could make their choice of action, Hal got blasted from behind by Cyborg Superman, wearing Green Lantern rings. Number 7. Lex Luthor. Between 1973 and 1985, an animated TV show named Super Friends served as a child-friendly version of the Justice League of America, curbing down a bit of violence and complexity. The team of superheroes, known as Super Friends, had their headquarters within the Hall of Justice, located at the center of Metropolis. In most of the episodes, Lex Luthor could be seen orchestrating his malevolent plans to defeat the Super Friends and take over the world. We saw Lex Luthor wielding a Green Lantern ring in one such episode from Season 3. 3. To learn about the events that led to the happening, we need to go through the episode titled Secret Origins of the Super Friends. The Legion of Doom, which was a group of self-proposed supervillains, sought to go back in time and prevent the powerful heroes from becoming what they were. Their targets were Green Lantern, Superman, and Wonder Woman. To stop Superman from ever existing on Earth, they time-traveled to the final days of Krypton and managed to change the course of Kal-El's rocket from ever reaching Earth. The villains then went back in time to let Cheetah compete in the Tournament of Amazons, winning which she was made the Wonder Woman. Finally, Lex Luthor went back in time before the Green Lantern ring chose Hal Jordan as its wielder. As the story went, Hal was working inside a simulator pod, but when Green Lantern Abin Sur was about to arrive, Lex made Hal leave the simulator and made it crash land near the arriving Green Lantern. Instead of Hal Jordan, Lex Luthor received Abin Sur's Green Lantern ring and became the Green Lantern. The Legion then captured the rest of the Super Friends, but luckily, Flash helped them escape, and together they repaired the history of Superman, Wonder Woman, and Green Lantern Hal Jordan. Number 8. Doomsday. Following Doomsday's resurrection in the 3-issue limited series titled Superman Doomsday, Hunter-Prey, published in 1994, the event showcasing the event of Doomsday wielding the Green Lantern ring happened in 1995's Doomsday, Year 1. The plot begins with a group of survivors of the Doomsday attack on Earth gathering around the site where Doomsday first emerged. The site has been sealed off by the United States military as radioactive, and all the survivors have been gathered around by Mitch Anderson, addressing them and exchange stories of how Doomsday's wrath affected their lives permanently. Superman arrived and began narrating the origins of Doomsday. Following Doomsday's journey through various worlds, the story reaches the point where the vicious monster encountered Green Lantern Zaran Pel of Sector 2813 on the ruins of planet Kundia. Zaran managed to enclose Doomsday in one of his constructs and tried contacting the Guardians for assistance. However, Doomsday freed himself from Zaran's constructs and killed the Green Lantern ruthlessly. He then took his Green Lantern ring and wore it. Wielding the Green Lantern ring, Doomsday then went for Oa. A Guardian tried stopping him with all his might, but that had no effect. With no other option left, the Guardian channeled all his power in a powerful explosion that destroyed Doomsday's ring and sent him flying deep into space. The Guardian sacrificed his life, and the rest of the Guardians and the members of the Green Lantern Corps gathered around to honor the sacrifice. Number 9. Lord Malvolio. Created by Christopher Priest and Mark Bright, Lord Malvolio was the child of the Green Lantern from Space Sector 1634. Not much is known about his mother, who died after giving birth to him. 200 years later, Malvolio killed his father and left with his power ring. He traveled through the galaxy, reached Space Sector 1634, and remained at his father's homeworld. Soon, his father's replacement, Priest, confronted him and defeated him. The Guardians had tasked Priest to kill Malvolio, but the Green Lantern disobeyed the Guardians and imprisoned him, for which the Guardians stripped him of his powers for his act of defiance. Hence, there was no other Green Lantern to take care of Space Sector 1634, eventually leading the worlds into total chaos. A new Green Lantern was needed to stop the waging War of the Worlds from spreading. Then, in the 20th century, Hal Jordan arrived in the sector. Lord Malvolio faced Hal Jordan, and the former managed to destroy Hal's power ring. With few options at hand, Hal Jordan used an energy cannon with a body harness and fired a wild shot at his opponent, which punched a hole in the side of the station. He then used the harness to make a bow and arrow, and shot Lord Malvolio through the chest, seemingly killing him. He removed the power ring from Malvolio and returned back to Earth. After Hal's departure, Malvolio could be seen taking out the arrow from his chest, stating that he was alive. During his period with the ring, Lord Malvolio evolved into a powerful being capable of harnessing tremendous power. He possessed immortality and all the other abilities of a Green Lantern. Lord Malvolio's strength accounted for his undying willpower, and if DC had continued his story, he could have been one of the biggest threats to the Green Lantern Corps. Number 10. Hector Hammond. In 2011's live-action movie Green Lantern showcased Hector Hammond as one of the main villains. In the film, Hector almost managed to take away Hal's Green Lantern ring after taking Carol Ferris hostage. Hector's superior intellect, telekinesis, and telepathy often created troubles for Hal Jordan, and there were numerous events where he fought against Hal. Created by John Broome and Gil Kane, Hector was an ordinary criminal who discovered the fragments of a strange meteor that had previously crash-landed on Earth. The radiation from the fragments had effects on the surroundings, and when Hector observed how the plants around it began growing rapidly, he kidnapped 4 scientists and exposed them to the meteor. The radiation affected the scientists by enhancing their intellect and curbing their willpower. Using the scientists' heightened intelligence, he made new inventions and sold them. He soon amassed large amounts of wealth and became a wealthy celebrity. However, the report of the 4 missing scientists reached Hal, and he believed Hector to be involved with it. He then created a duplicate power ring, dressed up his friend Thomas Kalamaku as a Green Lantern, and sent him to fool Hector Hammond. The plan worked perfectly, as Hector captured Thomas, stole his power ring, and converted him into a chimpanzee. Following this, Hal confronted Hector Hammond, and the two fought with their power rings, only for Hammond's ring to run out of charge and get him captured by Hal. Number 11. Parallax. Parallax was an alien entity living inside the Yellow Lantern's central power battery, and known as the living embodiment of fear. Over a period of time, Parallax possessed several individuals. Before being trapped by the Guardians, Parallax traveled from world to world, destroying entire civilizations. During the dawn of time, Parallax was sealed inside a box on Maltus, the homeworld of the Guardians. He was then trapped inside the Green Central Power Battery by the Guardians, as it was the opposite of its energy source, fear. As mentioned, Sinestro had obtained the Yellow Lantern ring from the Guardians, and when he was imprisoned in the Central Power Battery for his betrayal, the energy signatures from his ring awakened Parallax. Sinestro hated Hal to the core, and wanted Parallax to free itself via Hal. Parallax spent several years influencing Hal and making him question his actions and feel fear. However, the entity succeeded when Coast City was destroyed by Mongol and Cyborg Superman. The event was a final blow to Hal's sanity, and following this, he went into a murderous frenzy. He nearly wiped off the entire Green Lantern Corps, and later sacrificed himself to reignite Earth's sun. Number 12. Penguin. It might be hard to digest, but Penguin had also wielded the Green Lantern ring. In Season 5, Episode 7 of the Batman animated TV show, Penguin accidentally received Hal's power ring, following which he used the ring's power in a rather unconventional way, which supplied a bit of comic relief to the episode. The story begins with Hal Jordan meeting Batman and seeking help to locate Sinestro's energy signatures on Earth. As Hal stated, Sinestro's hunger for power had corrupted him, and he needed to be taken down before he could inflict any lethal damage on Earth. Hal departed, and Batman and Robin attended a charity party. While Hal returned to the hangar, Sinestro attacked him from behind. Hal struggled as his power ring was running out of charge. After knowing that Sinestro's primary objective is to get Hal's ring and decimate the entire Green Lantern Corps, he wastes no time in instructing the ring to find Batman. Meanwhile, Penguin was on his way to reach the charitable party to steal all the accumulated wealth for donations. The ring was also on its way to find Batman, but probably owing to lack of sufficient charge, it stopped before Penguin. Penguin wore the ring, and it was funny how he struggled to get accustomed to it. He first knocked out 2 of the guards guarding the function and entered confidently. When Dick Grayson tried talking to Penguin, he used the ring's power to cover his mouth. He created a vacuum cleaner and sucked in all the money collected for donations. He next robbed another bank using the ring's power, and then a luxury car from a showroom. Batman and Robin went in pursuit and confronted him. Penguin, with the ring, made things quite difficult for the two, but his fun with the new power came to a halt when Sinestro arrived. Sinestro attacked Penguin, and the latter blocked his energy blast by creating an umbrella. Penguin was no longer happy with the ring, and after managing to hide from Sinestro, he had no choice but to surrender it to Batman. Batman used the ring briefly to fight Sinestro, but when he noticed that it needed to be charged, he passed it on to Hal, who wasted no time charging it. Next, Hal and Sinestro fought, and when the latter crash-landed on the ground, Batman delivered a few blows. Unbeknownst to Sinestro, Batman managed to take away Sinestro's Yellow Lantern ring, following which he knocked the alien unconscious. Number 13. Harley Quinn. With Penguin on the list, it's no more shocking to have Harley Quinn wielding a Green Lantern ring. The event is showcased in Harley's Little Black Book comic series, where Harley shares her experiences with some of the superheroes. In issue 2, a mysterious spaceship crash-landed, and 2 passerbys noticed it. They both reached up to the ship from where a wounded alien appeared, gave them a box, and asked them to keep it safe. After this, the alien died, and the 2 humans returned home with the box. They opened the box and found a Green Lantern ring and a red and black ring held separately. In hopes of making money out of it, they tried selling it online, and that was when Harley Quinn noticed. She tried buying the Green Lantern, but there was already someone wanting it. The other buyer, a die-hard Green Lantern fan, agreed to buy the ring for $2,500. The seller then privately messaged Harley to buy the red and black combo, which had fused after the seller dropped milk over it. Harley agreed to buy the ring for $5,000, and soon the package arrived. Harley wore the ring and immediately felt its powers from within. The ring transformed her outfit, and she fell in love with it. Soon Harley began using the powers of the ring. She noticed a few criminals being chased by cops, and she used her powers to get hold of the vehicles and toss them away. Hal Jordan's ring sensed the anomaly and guided him towards Harley. Harley used her powers to create missiles and launched them toward Hal, but the latter managed to hit them away from him via a baseball bat construct. Harley managed to grab Hal with a giant arm construct, but had to let him go after a beam from space hit her. Following this, she flew up into space to find who did this and came across a spaceship with two mysterious aliens. The two aliens offered Harley anything she desired in exchange for her ring. The ring informed her that they were lying, but before she could do much, the alien entities managed to take away the ring from her. The aliens got back into the ship and shut the door. While Harley remained perplexed as to what happened, Hal arrived and tried punching the door open. However, Harley was then thrown out of the ship back into Earth orbit, and Hal managed to grab her. Suddenly, another beam from the spaceship hit Hal and made him unconscious. The two started falling, and Harley took Hal's ring to stop them from crashing. She saved not only her life, but also Hal's. This was a brief moment for which Harley wielded a Green Lantern ring. Number 14. Magan. Magan was a warlord and chieftain of the Vantan clan. He and his clan sought world domination and often waged war against those who tried to stop them. At some point, when they were surrounded by their enemies, Green Lantern Kyle Rayner rescued them, believing the clan to be victims. Realizing the might of the Green Lantern's potential, Magan formed a reliable connection with Kyle. Kyle Rayner was the only Green Lantern left after Parallax possessed Hal Jordan decimated the entire Green Lantern Corps, and he sought to get new recruits for the Green Lantern Corps. He believed Magan to be a potential candidate and handed him a power ring. When Kyle departed, Magan used his powers to rule his planet and later established the Second Vantan Imperium. He first used his powers to create a gigantic computer brain called Phothus, powered by his ring. He then moved the planet's ship to a gravity well near a black hole where time passed slowly. Using an enormous amount of time, he developed his army and mastered using his power ring. Once he was ready, he moved this planet's ship to other star systems and destroyed everything in its path by unleashing antimatter storms. This soon got the attention of Kyle, who arrived with other new Green Lantern recruits. Magan used his force armed with yellow spectrum weapons, but little did he know that unlike other Green Lanterns, Kyle's power ring was unaffected by the color yellow. After a long fight, Kyle stripped Magan of his ring and decided to stop recruiting new members, as it brings unfathomable power to the wrong individuals. Number 15. Weapons Master. Making his first appearance in Justice League Spectacular Issue 1, published in April 1992, Weapons Master was an arms dealer who supplied weapons to villains. At some point, he was hired by a Dominator to acquire Green Lantern, Guy Gardner's, power ring. He first manipulated Royal Flush Gang into attacking the Justice League of America's members. He supplied them with high-tech weapons and observed the battle from afar to study their powers and weaknesses. Weapon Master managed to send the Justice League into an alternate dimension where he was able to manipulate them. He even managed to take Guy Gardner's power ring, but instead of focusing on the necessary, he created a pretty woman and a cocktail. This gave Blue Beetle to create an opening for Guy Gardner, who managed to take the ring back from him. Number 16. Earthman. Kurt Nairi, or the man who later became Earthman, was initially an aspirant for joining the Legion of Superheroes. He called himself the Absorbency Boy, as he had the ability to absorb the energy residue of other superpowered beings. Considering his powers limited, he was rejected from joining his dream team. Kurt, however, did not give up. Disguising himself as a fake villain named Zoras, he attacked the Legionaries and managed to defeat them as well. Kurt then revealed himself and expected the Legionaries to accept him as a member. Unfortunately for Kurt, his act further worsened the situation, and Superboy attempted to confiscate his suit. In response, Kurt used the suit to project red sun radiation and absorb Superboy's powers. It was finally Tyrock, a new group member, who took Kurt down with his ultrasonic scream. Kurt later took the title Earthman as a stand against aliens. When a crystal tablet was found in the Arctic stating Superman was not alien and was an inhabitant of Earth protecting the planet from aliens, Earthman established a widespread hatred for aliens. He made Earth ban all aliens and formed his own team, the Justice League of Earth. The members were the ones who were rejected by the Legion of Superheroes, and together their task was to hunt aliens to confine them to camps. Earthman and his team had once joined the Legion of Supervillains, but after their defeat, he was imprisoned. Later, the Earth government, under the pressure of human supporters, forced the Legion to make Earthman their member. Earthman was offered a power ring by an entity of Oa named Diogene. However, after the ring failed him during his fight against the creatures of the planet Zarathos, he rejected Diogene's offer. Number 17. Maria Contranetti. Maria Contranetti was Kyle Rayner's neighbor. At some point, a mysterious plague killed every man on the planet except Lex Luthor and Superman. Amongst all the deceased men, Kyle Rayner was also dead, and his neighbor Maria obtained his ring. She became a Green Lantern, but used her powers for personal gains, committing crimes and living a luxurious life, eventually making her a villain. The reformed Justice League of America hunted her down and tried convincing her to stop her wrongdoings and join them. However, it was of no use, and after a brief fight, the Justice League of America took away the power ring from her and gave it to Barbara Gordon. Number 18. Carol Ferris. Number 18. Carol Ferris. Carol Ferris, who is popularly known as Hal's boss and girlfriend at some point, was abducted by the alien Zamorans. The Zamorans were an immortal race of extraterrestrial women warriors, and they wanted Carol to lead them as their queen. They made her believe that Green Lanterns were her mortal enemies, and since then, Carol, aka Star Sapphire, fought Hal on numerous occasions. Although her powers originate from a gem, 2007's Green Lantern issue 20 introduced her Star Sapphire ring, which works similar to that of Green Lantern's ring. Although she hasn't been shown wielding a Green Lantern ring, the cover picture of Green Lantern issue 19 showcased a flirtatious Star Sapphire wearing Hal Jordan's Green Lantern ring. Marvelous verdict. Finally, we have come to the end of our video, and we hope you have found it informative as well as entertaining. The characters might be evil and malevolent, but they also showcase immense willpower for which they could use the ring. Please let us know if we have any such character who wielded the Green Lantern ring in the comments section below.
And if you like our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already, and be safe. Thanks everyone.